This is really cool. So what I'm gonna do right now in this stream, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do resin printing, all right, or how to create supports for resin printers. And I'm gonna show you my method, and I'm gonna show you how I export, the settings that I use, how I fix the STL if it's needed, for those who might not want to print without fixing USTL. And also I'm going to show you how I place it in Cheeto box. Okay, so I have a model here that I need to print. It's very basic, has the support bars, and they want all these divisions in there. And I think it'd be really, really cool to show you my process of how I put my supports. So the main tool that I use for this, it's right here on Mesh Tools. And I start with my mesh cylinder, and I'll show you why I use it. So as soon as I turn it on, one thing that it helps me a lot is around faces I put 10, and my vertical faces I always use 5. Let me go down here into my settings, and I'm gonna put let's start with 2 millimeters, right? Okay, and then press the letter D for the direction, and let's put it around here. Okay, let's turn on project on. Let me see the direction I placed it. Let's go here. If you see me switching views a lot, it's just I'm using Control Tab to switch my views. So that's the fastest way that I do it. Anyway, so let me put it here. And the reason that I create my meshes that way is because if I go back to my into my tab standard and I turn on the control points, I can just grab this mesh and start modifying it to fit here. And something that I do is I try to grab as much as I can in this direction, and I try to create a little bit of a wider angle here. Oops, by mistake I closed my window. And what I do here on my control points is this lower area, I just make it a little bit wider, just like that. And this helps the resin printer to print a little bit easier these areas. So I'm working right now on my support, and here I do it slightly wider. That helps the resin to fill here, and it has less chance of not filling my lower part of my ring. So I do it by eye. Just gonna do a little bit more, and I'm gonna select this too, and I'm gonna bring it up. I love creating my supports using the mesh tools. Let's do it here. Okay, so I'm creating the vase right now, and for the lower part I'm still gonna use this cylinder, and I'm gonna create just a circle for distance, just like a marker. And let's do around here. My base is always 0.6 of a millimeter. That's what I found to work best with my 3D printer. I have a Phrozen 4K mini. I have 2 of them, and I have the Phrozen 8K, but I've been using a lot of my 4K mini. I haven't had the need to print a lot, so I might just get rid of my 8K for now, or we just leave it there. Okay, so that looks really good. I think this is a little bit much, and I'm gonna put it up a little bit, and I'm gonna make it a little bit wider just so it fills in very, very good. Okay, so once I have this marker here, it's just 0.6 of a millimeter tall. I select this lower areas, and I'm gonna make them a lot wider. And this is the easiest way for me to create my base. And let's make it wider. If let's say I want to create supports there, I just gonna make it wider. Okay, and the cool part is that I can create a bevel down here just by holding shift and grabbing the control point, the square control point on the gumball, and just dragging it. This angle helps me to take out the ring out of the base a lot quicker, so let's just grab it there. Oh, it distorted the circle, no worries. And I'm gonna go there, and this one I'm gonna leave it like almost flat. I don't want it to have too much angle in there. I think that's really, really cool. Let's put it up a little bit, just right there, right here would be excellent. Let's change the color of that just so you can see it better. Let's do this color. No, it's the same I was using in my model. Let's just go red so you can see it. All right, so that's my support. It has a bevel there and it has a bevel here, and it's got a little bit wider in this direction and this direction. That is a pretty solid support. And also, you know, for casting, I'm gonna grab this and I'm just gonna make it a little bit wider so I can cut this for casting, and that can be my bridge. All right, so basically when I cut this in this area, this is when I'm gonna put the rest of the sprue. Okay, so let's continue with my center. Another thing that I always do is I create like this pillars inside the ring, whether for casting or for printing. It helps the success of my printing a lot. So I'm just gonna start the cylinder at 0, and I'm gonna use, let's say, 1.5 millimeters. That's usually the smallest thickness that I use, and hit the letter D for direction. And let's put it down here. Okay, and I'm gonna use polar array to create the supports. So 0, I'm just gonna copy them in an array. I need 3, enter, and just enter because it's at 360. This way I have the inside supports even for casting. This is fantastic. All right, that's perfect. So I have the inside and I have my base. Okay, so let's start working with the areas that are going to be problematic, and let's take out the stones for a second. And there might be issues here and here, and after that there's not going to be much problem on the piece, but I think it's going to be excellent. All right, and an area that is problematic is down here under this bezel here, and this area, because it's square. Now there's a few ways to do it, but you don't want to spend too much time just creating a bunch of supports in here. So what I'm going to do is, for this particular model, is this one I'm going to mirror it going up just like this, and from here I'm going to use this to connect some of the points that I'll be using to increase the success of printing this area here. Just control tab. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to create a sphere down here, and let's just use like 1 millimeter. That'll be enough. Turn on the control points on your mesh, unselect the sphere, and I'm going to give it an angle. That is fantastic. If you want to make sure that inside of your ring prints correctly, just create spheres and watch the modification I'm going to do. Let's just select the sphere and the top control points. As you can see, I selected the whole thing after I created that angle, and I'm just going to stretch it here. Make sure it passes the metal, so when it prints, it fills in correctly. You can make it a little bit wider if you want. That way I can just cut it down here after with the pliers. And basically I create a support that is also helps the success of the printing, and also I can use it to cut it after. The main ones for casting are these, and I leave this. You can leave it alone, it'll help cast better, but we just want to make sure that this prints. Okay, so let's do the same. I'm gonna take off project off, and let's create another sphere, and let's put one here because I really need one there. So the smallest spheres that I do is around 0.6, and I put them in the areas that I need it the most. So I need this one maybe right out around the middle area, and I'm gonna make it a little bit wider. You can even make it this wide because you can take this off after when you clean in your casting. It's easy as just filing it away. I want to make sure that I have enough material that this fills in. It doesn't give me like a crazy, you know, angle where it didn't fill in. And if we put it right here in this area right here, it would print a lot better. So there it is. Okay, so now I'm gonna copy this one here, Let's go on this view. I'm gonna copy and paste it, and we're gonna make sure it connects up here. Let's put it right there, and let's turn on the control points. Let's make it smaller. That'd be perfect. This is the advantage of me using the mesh cylinder and having those points, because I don't have to be guessing the connections. I can just grab and move them around in any way that I want. See, I'm just putting it there. Where do I want it to connect? Let's see the center. Okay, it's not completely centered. Let's just grab it, put it right there. Oh, it went really thin there. Let's turn on the control points. There, make it a little bit wider, and you can even make it this wide. And that will look fantastic. Actually, that will help you print this a lot better, okay? And then we just select this point here and just extend it until it touches the centerpiece. It looks like it's a little too tall. I don't want this piece to fail, so let's grab that. Let's grab this and put exactly right here. That looks fantastic right now. Okay, let's put it up. All right, it doesn't need to be perfect, but I think that works. That works really cool. So it's gonna grow from here, and it's gonna connect here. You can put another one on the inside, like a smaller one, but I think this is enough. It's not too important to have a perfect surface printed on the inside, so that's the only compromise I'm gonna make. So let's do another one, another sphere, and I really want to make sure that this area here prints. So let's do it again, 0.6. Let's put it in there, and let's just make it slightly wider, just enough so I can cut it with the pliers. Okay, and let's go in here. Let's turn on project. I'll just leave it alone for now. Let's go back to mesh tools, cylinder. I want to emphasize that my vertical faces are 5, because if you leave 10, you might have too many control points to use. So around faces 10 or 8, it's perfect. Let's say we put 8, and your vertical faces are 5. That'd be just perfect. Let's go in here and let's use 1 millimeter cylinder. Hit letter D for the direction. And it's perfectly right there. All right, awesome. Let's grab it here, turn on the control points. And once I have those control points, just make it smaller and put it right there. Oh, that looks fantastic. Oh, someone liked the video. Thank you very much, viewer. I appreciate you. And you're the reason I'm making this video today. Somebody asked me earlier how you make your supports, and because they see I don't have a lot of fell printing, and he was wondering, well, one, what kind of resin I'm using. I use Resin Works CCW. It's a company, I think, from Canada, and it's been casting wonderfully. All right, I think I like this angle here. Let's do that, and let's select this and just move it away from that area, maybe a little bit closer here. Okay, I think that's really good right there. And now for the connection point, I'm just gonna drive it here to make sure it connects in that side of the circle, or I can just have it connect all the way in the middle. But for this printing, straight lines are somewhat better, just like that. Select this. Well, you know what? I can grab this and put it right next to the shank. That way it's not such a long collection. Let's go here and let's put it up a little bit. I think it's a better choice just to put it around here. So let's go in this view, and we're gonna make sure it connects right here. And we're gonna create a sphere. I'm gonna make sure it goes there, and let's do 0.6 again. That is pretty good. Well, just for sake of efficiency, I'm gonna make it bigger. And let's put it there. I think that's just enough. I'm gonna flip it in this direction, make it a little bit smaller. All right, that is fantastic. And I like to have this fluent transitions when I'm making those sprues. Okay, that was a lot easier to do than I thought. And let's put it there. I can use this cylinder for two reasons. One, so I can cut here, and if it breaks off, it doesn't break off the ring. And I forgot sometimes to cut them before I cure them. So I would recommend you to cut this spruce before you put them into curing. Let's make this wider in this direction. Is it thinner? Well, not so wide. Maybe there. And I can select this too and just move them here. I'm actually pretty happy with this right now. Right there, a little bit of angle. Okay, that is maybe all you need for this piece to print. And just to make sure that this area's filled in, especially right here, I'm gonna create a sprue that connects from here all the way down here to the base. All right, so I like that. So I select this pieces. Let's just group them and mirror them from 0. Okay, that looks fantastic. From 0, from there. Okay, right there, that is good enough. And in this area, I'm gonna mirror again into my y-axis. All right, so my top part, it's already pretty much done. Let me just select everything. And for the moment, let's just group everything as one group. Okay, now let's work in this area. And again, we're just gonna create 2 spheres. I'm gonna create one from here. Let's do 0.7. Copy, paste, Control C, Control B. And I'm gonna put them right there just so it covers the areas that I need to print. I'm gonna have to cover this piece right here. Okay. And this is what it looked like. Now this one will have to be here, and this one will be like in this area. Just grab both. Let's make them a little bit wider. And that is perfect. Okay. So now I need to extend my bottom base. Let's select that. Unselect these. Just make them wider right here. Okay, that's a perfect angle. Okay, let's go to mesh tools, cylinder, and let's create from here. Okay, let's grab this one, make it not so wide. Let's just put it in. Okay, that is better. Okay, cylinder, I'm just gonna put it here somewhere. Let's do 1 millimeter direction. Okay, that's 1, and copy and paste. Okay, this one, I'm gonna put it at an angle here. Turn on the control points. Just like that. And let's 3D scale them down. I'm gonna put it right here, and you know what? All this doesn't need to be this much. Let's just scale them down as well. Whoopsie, I forgot to get that one in there. Let's make sure all this is selected. Scale it down, and I think that's perfect right there. Copy and paste, and I'm gonna drag this one down. Now I'm just gonna angle it. I'm gonna rotate it a little bit lower so it doesn't get all cluttered here and fills in too much. There's this one. Let's just extend it. You know what? Let me make it scale it down a little bit thicker. Perfect. I think right there be a perfect angle. Right there, turn on the control points, grab this section, drop it all the way down here. Scale it down a little bit and go right here. Okay, so where am I gonna put this? Great question. Just if you thought about it. I'm gonna go here. Okay, I think that's perfect angle. Select this two, turn on the control points. Once you get the practice, you'll be a lot quicker than this. You know, you just see where you want to put them, and it makes everything a lot smoother. Let's go there, unselect that one, select these, select this one here, and select this one here. Just move them in there just so it touches. I think that's perfect. Select all this, and I'm gonna group it. I think that'd be great for this particular piece. And I put those two. Again, mirror in the other direction. And right there is perfect. And let me go down here in the lower part. Select this piece again, turn on the control points. I wanna just have this a little bit wider right here. I think that makes it a little bit better. Grab here. I'm being a little picky. I shouldn't be this picky, but I want this to be a really good video. Okay, that is perfect. And pretty much that's all I would need to have a very successful print. Now let's create the STL file, okay? And I'm gonna show you the settings I've been using for a long time, okay? So select everything. Just check it one more time, make sure that you don't miss any points. We could have put one here, but it'll be way too much. I think with this sufficient. And I really like doing these cylinders and stretching them because it fills most of the areas that I need with just one support. Okay, so let's select everything and let's export it. So I select it, I go to File, Export Selected, and let's see, what can I call this? Let's go WT STL test. Okay, change it to STL stereo lithography. There you go. And here's the important part. I'm gonna put save, and this options would make sure that my mesh is not too heavy in geometry, but not too low where some areas might not print correctly. Also, any lower than this would be like 3 microns of geometry and rounded areas. It would just makes it a lot smoother when I print, and when I'm trying to fix my STL, it just gives me a lot of less open geometry or holes when I export my STLs. So if you want to take a screenshot, I'll leave it there, and I'll just press OK. Okay, so it's creating the mesh. It didn't take that long. Okay, now from here I use another program called Magix, and this is an old version of Magix. It's Magix 11. I think they're in version 23 right now, but I haven't had to upgrade any of this. So very important, here's where I import. I think I'm using my old machine, a machine that we used to use in a company, Envision Tech. And let me go to File and Import Machine or Machine Library. No, 3D Systems SLA 3500, but here you can add from library. In another video I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so let's just import the part. That's important. So let me go to my desktop, and trying to remember where I put now my file. So select all this again, export selected, and 3D Works startup. Okay, now I know where it is. Let's go back to Magix. Let's go here, my PC. Let's go to my SSD, 3D Work, startup. Okay, there it is, and just open. So here's my file, and basically the only thing I do is just create Unify, and it's gonna make it as a one shell. We use the fix wizard, which is this button here, or just control F, and it opens the fix wizard. And right here is what I just update. And oh, look, just one shell. I don't use the automatics. I kind of do it manually, but usually by just clicking on this unify, it makes it into one solid STL. All right. So I don't put save, or I don't put control S to save it automatically because it increases the size for some reason. So I just got used to unload the piece, and it's going to ask me if I want to save it. And I just say yes. Yes. And I'm going to double click on it. So from here, it goes into Cheeto box. If you put Control S or try to save it in this version, I don't know if the new magics do it. It just gives you an increase in percentage, like 2%, 3%. So I just unload the piece. If you're having trouble with some STL fixers, you might want to check that they're not increasing in dimension and percentages. Okay. So let's just go on Cheeto box and let's check out our. Oh, I have another one that I had in there. That I put earlier. So let's go there and delete that. All right, let's load the file. Let's go into the SSD, 3D work, startup, and open it up. All right, so here it is. The base is nice. It's in an angle. It has all the supports that I need. And it looks really good. You can just go back and start looking at where you might have problems. If you want to make sure that here right there, boom. Okay, let's see where right here. See, like it's already building within that circles, those spheres, and then it builds it very nicely. That one's important, and then the ones right here. Right here, there's no islands because they go right into those spheres. See, like starts connecting to the sphere, and it goes all the way down. All right, that looks fantastic. If you only have one ring, I never print in the middle. So usually what I do is, let's just rotate them in this direction, like here. I would rotate it. Like that's perfect. It doesn't need to be like, and I try to keep this middle square empty because this is the area where there's the most constraint when you're printing something. And if it's just one, I'll recommend you to print them like maybe here, and maybe just copy another one or clone it and just put it in the other direction, just right here. If you're low in material, then, you know, be my guest. But when I'm printing, depending, I keep switching where I print the pieces just so my FEP lasts longer, and also the direction where I print them. And then sometimes I flip my vase, the direction I take it off, and I flip it. So let's see how long this is going to take. Let's go to my slicer. Oh, perfect. It's going to take 5 hours with 2 minutes. That's pretty good. Phrozen Mini 4K. And just hit save. And then I'm just going to leave it there and save. And that's it. That's all you need to do. I hope you like this video. I hope that this gives you an idea how to create quick supports using Rhino, using mesh tools. And basically I did everything with a sphere and the cylinder from mesh tools. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you have a question or you have better suggestions to this than mine, I'm totally cool with it. I would like to learn a little bit more. Just that I want to share with you the easiest way that I've been getting consistent printing, and I don't have to create my supports in here in Cheeto box. So I'm using Magix 11.11. If you want to find out more, contact me. I could share this version with you if you need it. And yeah, there it is. Look, I designed this ring in, you know, a couple minutes. Using Grasshopper Gold. All right, friends, take care so much. If you have a question about this, you can email me at carlosalvarez216@gmail.com. You can also contact me here. You know, send me a message, leave a comment. I would really appreciate that. And if you found this video to be of value, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so YouTube lets you know every time I do new lives. Usually I do videos but I want to start doing them live, to be spontaneous. And whenever I make mistakes, I can also show you how I fix them or how I go around whenever I encounter a problem. All right. So if you need private training and you want to get really serious about this, I would love to share with you my 25 years of experience creating 3D models and printing and working in the industry of jewelry. I've been fortunate to work with very notorious companies here in LA. So take care, friends. In California right now, we have a storm. So I think I'll be in front of my computer a lot longer here at home. And have a blessed day. All right. I will see you in another video. Thank you, guys. Bye.